Good morning, dear students. Welcome to our first lecture, and today's lecture is about the lexicology, the subject of lexicology. Okay, so let's begin from the first question, the subject of lexicology. The term lexicology is on Greek origin from lexis word and logos science. Lexicology is a part of linguistics which deals with the vocabulary and characteristic features of word and word groups. The term word denotes the main lexical unit of a language resulting from the association of a group of sound with a meaning. This unit is used in grammatical functions characteristic of it. It's the smallest unit of a language which can stand alone as a complete utterance. The term word group denotes a group of words which exist in the language as a ready-made units, has the unity of meaning, the unity of syntactical function. Example, the word group as loose as a goose means clumsy and is used in a sentence as a predicative. He is as loose as a goose. Lexicology can be general and special. General lexicology is the lexicology of any language, part of general linguistics. It's aimed at establishing language universals, linguistic phenomena, and properties common to all languages. Special lexicology is the lexicology of a particular language, for example, English lexicology, German lexicology, Russian, and etc. Lexicology can study the development of the vocabulary, the origin of the words and word groups, their semantic relations, and the development of their sound form and meaning. In this case, it's called historical lexicology. Another branch of lexicology is called descriptive and studies the vocabulary at a definite stage of its development. Let's move on to the next question. What is a word? First, the word is a unit of speech which as such serves the purposes of human communication. Thus, the word can be defined as a unit of communication. Secondly, the word can be perceived as a total of the sounds which comprise it. Third, the word, viewed structurally, possesses several characteristics. The modern approach to word studies is based on distinguishing between the external and the internal structures of the word. By external structure of the word, we mean its morphological structure. For example, in the word post-impressionists, the following morphemes can be distinguished. The prefixes post, im, the root press, the noun-forming suffixes ion, ist, and the grammatical suffix of plurality s. The external structure of the word and also typical word formation patterns are studied in the framework of word building. The internal structure of the word or its meaning is nowadays commonly referred to as the word's semantic structure. This is the word's main aspect. The area of lexicology specializing in the semantic studies of the word is called semantics. One of the main structural features of the word that it possesses both external or formal unity, and semantic unity. A further structure feature of the word is its susceptibility to grammatical employment. In speech, most words can be used in different grammatical forms in which their interrelation are realized. Thus, the word is a speech unit used for the purposes of human communication, materially representing a group of sounds, possessing a meaning, susceptible to grammatical employment, and characterized by formal and semantic unity. Now let's move on to the third question, the problem of word boundaries. The difference between word and other two-faceted units is not always clear. There are, first, form words. On the one hand, they fuse with notional words phonetically and don't function as sentence members. On the other hand, they are positionally mobile. Example, a, to, and. The second, loose compounds. Example, speech sound, stone wall. On the other hand, they are built in speech. On the other hand, they have one lexical stress. When we pronounce these two words, we don't separately pronounce each of them. We just say them as one word, speech sound, stone wall. The third one is phrasal words. His, I love yous. On the other hand, they are built in speech and are not reproducible. On the other hand, they have one lexical stress. The difference between variants of the same word and different words is also not always clear. Within the language system, the word is a lexeme, an abstract unit which unites all its variants. A. Lexico-semantic variants. Different meanings of the same polysemantic word. For example, to give a pen, to give a smile, to give an answer. If we translate it into Russian, we can see some difference in their meaning. To give a pen, дать ручку, to give a smile, одарить улыбкой, to give an answer, дать ответ. B. Phonetic variants, different pronunciation of the same word. For example, neither, either, and often. These words can be pronounced differently in different areas. For example, neither and neither, either, either, often, often. C. Orthographical variants, different spelling of the same word. Jail, jail. The first word is written like J-A-I-L, and the second variant of the written word is G-A-O-L. But these words are identical in meaning, but we can see the difference in their spelling. D. Morphological variants, different morphemic structure of the same word. And examples are learned and learned, geographic and geographical. If we can look at their semantic meaning, they are the same. but graphically, morphologically, they are different because they have different endings and suffixes. For example, in learned, it is written like learn ed, and in the second variant, it has t at the end of this word. Geographic is written with suffix ic, and the word geographical has suffix ical. Let's move on to the the fourth question. Lexicology and its connection with other linguistic disciplines. As you can know, any discipline has connection with other disciplines. So lexicology is not the exception, and let's look at the connections of these disciplines. Lexicology is closely connected with other branches of linguistics. The first one is phonetics. It's connected with phonetics because the word's sound form is a fixed sequence of phonemes united by lexical stress. The second connection is made with morphology. So lexicology is connected with morphology and word formation, as the word structure is a fixed sequence of morphemes. Third, it's connected with morphology because the word connects is a unity of lexical and grammatical meanings. The fourth connection, the word functions as part of the sentence and performs a certain syntactical function. That is why it's also connected with syntax. The fifth, the word function in different situations and spheres of life, therefore it's connected with stylistics, social and psycholinguistics. But there is also a great difference between lexicology and other linguistic disciplines. Grammatical and phonological systems are relatively stable. Therefore, they are mostly studied within the framework of intralinguistics. Lexical system is never stable. It's directly connected with extralinguistic systems. It's constantly growing and decaying. It immediately reacts to changes in social life. Examples, the intense development of science and technology in the 20th century gave birth to such words as computer, Sputnik, spaceship. Therefore, lexicology is a social linguistic discipline. It studies each particular word, both its intra and extra linguistic relationships. Lexicology is subdivided into a number of autonomous but interdependent disciplines. And the first one is lexicological phonetics. It studies the expression plane of lexical units in isolation and in the flow of speech. The second is semasiology. It deals with the meaning of words and other linguistic units such as morphemes, word formation types, morphological word classes, and morphological categories. The third one is onomasiology or nominal theory. It deals with the process of nomination, what name this or that object has and why. The fourth is etymology. It studies the origin, the original meaning, and form of words. The fifth is phraseology. It deals with phraseological units or idioms. The sixth one is lexicography. It's a practical science, and it describes the vocabulary and each lexical unit in the form of dictionaries. The seventh is lexical morphology, and it deals with the morphological structure of the word. The last one, the eighth, is the word formation. It deals with the patterns which are used in coining new words. That's all on this topic. So today we have learned about what is lexicology, what is the word, what disciplines are connected with lexicology, and other questions. Now let's look at the second lecture, and the topic is meaning and concept. Meaning and concept. And the first question here is approaches to lexical meaning. There are two main approaches to lexical meaning, referential and functional. The referential approach studies the connection between words and things or concepts they denote. Functional approach studies relations between words. The referential model of meaning is the so-called basic semantic triangle. It consists of the sound form or sign of the word. The second, the referent or denotatum, the object which the word names. And the third, the concept, designatum, the essential properties of this object which are reflected in human mind. So meaning is closely connected with all parts of the semantic triangle, but cannot be equated with any of them. Generally speaking, meaning can be described as a component of the word through which a concept is communicated. In this way, endowing the word with the ability of denoting real objects, qualities, actions, and abstract notions. The functional approach assumes that the meaning of a linguistic unit can be studied only through its relation to other linguistic units and not through its relation to concept or referent. Example, we know that the meaning of bird N and bird V, we mean here noun, bird noun, and bird verb, is different because they function in speech their function in speech is different. Analyzing various contexts in which these words are used, we can observe they have different distribution. As the distribution of the two words is different, their meanings are different too. The same is true of the polysemantic words. Look at me and you look tired. Here, two words, the same two words, look, two words are the same, but they have different semantic meaning. Consequently, semantic investigation is confined to the analysis of the difference or sameness of meaning. The functional approach is a valuable complement to the referential theory. Now we'll move on to the second question, which is lexical meaning and concept. So meaning and concept are very closely associated but not identical. Meaning is a linguistic category, while concept is a logical and psychological category and a unit of thinking. Meaning and concept coincide only in scientific terms that have no general meaning, like morpheme, phoneme, and so on. And in terminological meanings of polysemantic words, example, legal, medical, or grammatical usages of the word case. In other aspects, meaning and concept do not coincide. So let's look at these examples. The first one is concept is emotionally and stylistically neutral. Meaning may include non-conceptual parts. Kid, gorgeous, birdie. The second is one and the same concept can be expressed differently. For example, die, like pass away, or kick the bucket. These two idiomatical phrases can be replaced by the word die. The third is the number of concepts don't correspond to the number of words and meanings. One concept may be expressed by several synonymous words. For example, child, kid, infant. One polysemantic word may express several concepts. For example, draw. To move by pulling. Draw a boat out of the water. Or obtain from a source. Draw water from a well. Make with a pen. Pencil or chalk. Draw a straight line. Some words don't express concept at all. Such words are as well, must, perhaps. The fourth, concepts are mostly international. Meanings are nationally specific. Words expressing identical concepts may have different meaning and different semantic structures in different languages. For example, house, дом, blue, синий, голубой. Let's move on to the third question, which is types of lexical meaning. The context plane of word includes denotative and connotative meanings. Denotative or referential meaning. The basic type of lexical meaning is the word's reference to the object. This reference may be individual. For example, the dog is trained, or general. It's not a dog. That is why denotative meaning is subdivided into demonstrative and significative. The type of denotative meaning varies in different groups of words. The meaning of situational words in relative, it depends on the situation and context. Here, some, my, this, now. Pronominal words don't name the referent. They only point to it. He, she, they. Their meaning is in isolation is very general. He, any male. But in speech their reference is always individual. He, this particular male. The referent of proper names is always an individual object of person. They refer to each member of a particular class. For example, London, Paris, they are cities. John, Bob are men. Specific and general terms differ in their size of the referent group. For example, the word rose is a flower and flower is a plant. General terms have a wider meaning and can substitute for any specific term. Dog, English bulldog, and French poodle, cocker spaniel, and other types of dogs. The referent of abstract words can be perceived by the mind and not by the senses. For example, miracle, polite, to manage. Connotative meaning includes various additional meanings, like emotional, evaluative, intensifying, and expressive. Example, hillcock. As a rule, connotative connotation coexist with denotation. However, sometimes it comes to the fore and weakens the word's denotative meaning. Words also may have a certain stylistic value. It means that they refer to this or that situation or function style, science, everyday life, business. For example, the verb get can be replaced by words obtained, by the word obtain in other sphere of life, or the word child can be replaced with kid and infant. Now let's move on to the fourth question, which is lexical and grammatical meaning. The word is a lexical grammatical unity. Its content plane includes two types of meaning, lexical and grammatical. Lexical meaning is individual and unique. It doesn't belong to any other word in the same language. For example, bicycle, a vehicle with two wheels, handlebars, to guide it with, a seat, and two pedals to make it go. Grammatical meaning is general. It's standard. It belongs to a whole class of words and word forms. In this case, bicycle is a noun, in the common case, singular. At the same time, lexical and grammatical meanings coexist in the word and are independent. The first one, lexical meaning affects grammatical meaning. Abstract or mass nouns have no plural forms. Joy, like joy and sugar. Relative adjectives have no degrees of comparison. For example, watery. Statal verbs are not used in progressive tenses. Continuous tenses. See, understand. Second, grammatical meaning affects lexical meaning. Different meanings of the polysemantic word grow have their own grammatical peculiarities. For example, he has gone to China. It means he moved. Go plus adverb of place. They are going to get married soon. They are planning. And here the grammatical form is be going to plus infinitive. The children went wild with excitement. It means that they became excited. Go plus adjective. The third, combinability of the word depends both on its lexical and grammatical meaning. Example, the noun tea combines with strong but not with strongly. The fourth, grammatical form may be isolated from the paradigm and become lexicalized. For example, works, factory. The fifth, lexical meaning may be grammaticalized. Example, some notional verbs may be used as linked verbs. Give a smile, turn red. And this was the last question. So today we have learned about the meaning and concept, their difference. Also, we have learned about the types of lexical meaning and lexical and grammatical meanings. So that is all for this lecture.